In this video we are going to talk about top 10 most heated football fan rivalries in the world. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. While the NHL is known for its fan rivalries, there are some soccer teams where fans may get into even more heated debates. If you've ever been curious, these are the most heated football rivalries. You might want to reconsider seeing any of these teams. Here are the top 10 most heated football fans rivalries. Number 10, De Clasico. De Clasico, which involves Ajax and Feyenoord, is driven by, as is customary, the stark cultural differences that exist between the participating cities and regions. Feyenoord and Rotterdam were more at ease with their traditional industrial principles, in contrast to Ajax and Amsterdam, which were well known for their styles and cultures. Following Feyenoord's victory in the European Cup in 1970, Ajax went on to win the following 3 championships in a row. Later on, when Johan Cruyff moved from Amsterdam to Rotterdam in 1983, he stirred up a lot of controversy. Grêmio and Internacional come in at number 9. When it comes to heated competition in the sport of soccer, South America does not fail to deliver, and this heading is dedicated to the feud that exists between Grêmio and Internacional. Both Grêmio and its Brazilian rival are based in the city of Porto Alegre, which is located in the south of Brazil. Grêmio has won the Copa Libertadores 3 times, giving it an advantage over its Brazilian opponent. Grêmio was formed by German forefathers, and Internacional was founded by Italian immigration. This is where the rivalry between the two clubs originates from historically. Number 9 and number 8, Roma and Lazio. You must be aware that there is an additional factor that must be there for the fiercest of soccer rivalries in addition to what occurs on the field. In the case of Roma and Lazio, the dispute stems from a difference in political ideas, and it is a rivalry that takes place in the Italian capital. Those of Roma are at ease with their left-wing ideas, but fans of Lazio prefer to live life on the right side of the political spectrum. Despite the level of competition, the clubs from Rome have only won a combined total of 5 Serie A titles, but Juventus has won 36 and is still counting. Number 7, Borussia Dortmund and Schalke. Schalke were previously the more dominant power in the sport, despite the fact that Borussia Dortmund is currently the more well-known of the two. Up until the year 1947, Schalke had been the more dominant team in Westphalia, even going so far as to win 21 straight titles in the region. After the economic climate deteriorated, the competition between the teams in the Bundesliga intensified along with the incorporation of more industrial aspects. The Bundesliga was founded in 1963. Number 6, Fenerbache and Galatasaray. European fans who travel to Turkey to witness an away game in the Champions League or Europa League may feel uneasy about being in such an unfamiliar environment. Just try to picture the mayhem that breaks out whenever Fenerbahce and Galatasaray face each other in a game. Galatasaray has achieved a marginally higher level of success than its rival by virtue of their 22 Super League championships. The sad situations that have occurred during what is known as the Intercontinental Derby have seen supporters being assaulted and even stabbed. Number 5, Nacional and Penarol. In the city of Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay, the fierce rivalry between Nacional and Penarol takes place. Nacional has traditionally held the upper hand in this competition, so Penarol is the underdog. The teams initially competed against one another in the year 1900, and their long-standing rivalry has only grown more heated since then. Although there is an ongoing debate concerning which club came into being first, the competition between the two teams is not quite as intense as the one that takes place between River Plate and Boca Juniors. Number 4, El Clasico. The most dominant team from Real Madrid or Barcelona often goes on to win La Liga the season after playing in El Clasico, which is the most important rivalry in the Spanish football calendar. This match, much like the other derbies on the list, is entrenched with geographical and class issues. The majority of Barcelona supporters would rather that their region, Catalonia, was independent from Spain, despite the fact that Real Madrid is affiliated with the royal family of Spain. Given that Real Madrid has won 13 titles in the European Cup/Champions League, Barcelona has a long way to go before it can catch up to Real Madrid. Number 3, River Plate and Boca Juniors. When compiling a list of the worst football derbies, it would be unwise to leave out the matchup between River Plate and Boca Juniors. Over the course of more than a century, these two clubs have held a deep-seated animosity towards one another. The competition, which began as a conflict between the working class and the aristocracy, has now deteriorated into complete and utter hostility. Check out a handful of these videos on YouTube if you have any concerns about how vicious this competition really is. These supporters consider tear gas and flares to be nothing more than playthings. Rivalry between Boca Juniors and River Plate, two of the most successful soccer teams in Buenos Aires, can be traced back more than a century. The initial source of animosity between the two teams can be traced to class tension, as Boca Juniors is known as a working-class team and River Plate is known as a more affluent team. Both of these names are only used because of the locations of the stadiums where the games are played. Otherwise, there is no genuine difference between the fan groups in terms of class. Both rich and poor people are rooting for both sides. It makes no difference if the labels are correct or not. The animosity is present, and violent beatings are a typical occurrence. The deadliest of the incidents occurred in 1968, when 71 spectators were crushed to death in a stampede as they attempted to leave the stadium when fires broke out in the stands. Although the police have been accused, River fans have been blamed, and Boca fans have been blamed, there is still no official reason for why it happened. Number 2. Manchester United and Liverpool. Even though it isn't as vicious as the Old Firm rivalry, the Manchester United vs Liverpool game is still the most contentious derby of the Premier League season. Manchester United, a soccer team that is based in the northwest of England and was managed by Sir Matt Busby, rose to fame in the 1950s and 1960s while playing under his direction. The competition between the two cities began during the Industrial Revolution, when they were both trying to gain an advantage over the other. Eventually, this struggle made its way onto the field of play for the sport of soccer. Tragic incidents have befallen both of these teams, which are currently two of the most successful and well-known sports organizations in the world. The Hillsborough disaster took place in 1989 during a match between Liverpool and Sheffield Wednesday. After winning the European Cup in 1967 to 1968, Liverpool went on to dominate the 1970s and 1980s, ending the decade with 18 league championships and 4 European Cups to their name. The rivalry reached a new level of acrimony in the 1990s and 2000s when the tables were turned as a result of the influence of Sir Alex Ferguson. At the time, fans of Manchester United were deprived of success. The tremendous competition that exists between Manchester United and Liverpool stems, ultimately, from a positive source that dates back to the industrial era and has been carried out on the field of play for more than a century. Number 1. Old Firm. A commentator in the early part of the 20th century coined the term Old Firm to refer to the rivalry between the Glasgow football clubs Celtic and Rangers. In Scotland, the term is known as the Old Firm, and what makes this conflict so passionate are the political and theological underpinnings of it both. Celtic is recognized for its worship of Catholicism and support of a united Ireland, in contrast to the Protestantism and the union of Great Britain and Northern Ireland that are connected with the Rangers. A connection between the Old Firm and sectarianism has emerged as a result of the collision of opinions that are so diametrically opposed to one another. Fans from the north of Ireland, where people have been subjected to a litany of sectarian bloodshed and divisions for more than a century, go all the way to Glasgow to witness the concert because the problems run so deep. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.